Many Democrats are hoping the party will replace President Biden and get some young blood in the race, prompting one contender to get a transfusion from local orphans.
I bet Bill has not had a good night's sleep for years. I mean, that's why he aged so badly.
Yeah.
You know, like, a lot of people don't know this. Bill Clinton is only 37 years old. A lot of people don't know that. But she's just evil. Like, there's nothing like her.
Why would she even tweet that? Like, don't you have
I think she just sits around in her evil lair whenever she runs out of Eye of Newt and Small Children to Boil. She then goes to X and just says whatever the...
For years, Hillary Clinton has tried to twist every political defeat into some grand comeback story. But when Gutfeld and Tyrus step onto the scene, that entire illusion explodes in seconds. They slice straight through the excuses, the finger-pointing, and the carefully built myth she's been hiding behind for decades. What's left isn't a fearless trailblazer, but entitlement wrapped in the glittering costume of legacy. The moment they expose her, it becomes painfully clear. Hillary's tale isn't one of triumph at all. It's the tragic saga of failure repackaged as relentless denial.
Registered voters said any Republican would be better than President Biden, prompting one woman to legally change her name to NE Republican.
Every time she talks, you kind of get why Bill did what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, it's kind of like, again, I don't condone, cheating, but that's your morning.
Yeah.
You gotta kiss that before you go to bed at night, and then you gotta sleep with one eye open.
Yeah.
Because your buddy Epstein didn't off him.
Watching Gutfeld and Tyrus tear into Hillary Clinton is like witnessing expert demolition crews dismantle a crumbling tower that's been unstable for decades. Every swing of their verbal wrecking ball hits harder than the last, leaving no illusion standing. Hillary isn't just a political figure. She's become the ultimate mascot of elitist arrogance, the living symbol of entitlement disguised as destiny. If politics had a blooper reel, her career wouldn't just make a cameo, it would be the entire feature presentation, a non-stop highlight of overconfidence meeting cold, harsh reality.
That's good.
This might be, in my opinion, the worst thing she's ever said, because we know New York City subways. Kids don't take the subway.
Yeah.
I mean,
and if you do, you're like, whose kid is that?
Yeah, there are men on there who set fire to women, but she's pretending that the people that are trying to reduce crime, that are doing it for themselves, because she's only used to doing things for herself.
If you're vibing with this wild breakdown, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because this part is pure drama. Here's the shocking truth about Hillary Clinton. She spent her entire life convinced that greatness was her birthright, that history already had her name etched in gold at the top. But destiny has a wicked sense of humor. Despite oceans of money, endless media protection, and connections stronger than steel, not to mention a husband who could negotiate deals in his sleep, she blew the biggest political layup in American history. Losing to Donald Trump in 2016 wasn't just a stumble, it was an extinction-level event for her credibility. As Gutfeld and Tyrus laugh, her campaign slogan might as well have been, "Because I said so," and honestly, it would have been just as effective.
So, Aaron, that was Hillary at a talk in Manhattan earlier this month. When Martha, is that her name? Margaret Hoover asked her that question about what do you have. It was a beautiful dig. Did you see Hillary? Like, what advice would you give to the first woman president? And it's like, it's not you, Hillary. It's not you. Whoopsie poopsie, Hillary.
Gutfeld doesn't let Hillary Clinton off the hook for even a second. He calls her the queen of fake authenticity, the unrivaled master of pretending to be relatable while living miles above everyone else. Remember that infamous hot sauce in the purse stunt? That wasn't culture. It was a marketing experiment gone horribly wrong. Every attempt she made to seem like the everyday woman only reminded everyone that she hasn't lived a normal life since her Yale law days. It's not that she can't understand real struggles. It's that she refuses to. Her entire worldview has always orbited around one thing: power, and the unshakable belief that she's entitled to it.
Hillary Clinton argues Joe should be, quote, direct and forceful, end quote, against Trump in the CNN debate. Yeah, direct and forceful, just like the noose I put around Epstein's neck. If I did it.
Gutfeld compares Hillary Clinton to that fired coworker who still shows up to meetings as if nothing ever happened. No matter how many times voters reject her, she reappears with another book, another podcast, or some cringeworthy Netflix cameo. It's like she's trapped in her own rerun, unable to face the credits rolling on her political career. She's the politician who refuses to admit the show's over, demanding applause long after the audience has left the theater. The curtain dropped years ago, but she's still begging for an encore nobody asked for.
Hell no.
She's back like a sore on a porn star's lip.
Ew.
Complaining on X about Trump cleaning up D.C., she says, quote, on one hand, Republican officials call themselves war fighters. On the other, they become whiny cry.
And then come the excuses, an endless parade of blame that never stops. According to Hillary Clinton, she didn't lose in 2016 because she was a weak candidate. Oh no, it was the FBI's fault, the Russians' fault, sexism, Bernie Sanders, voter suppression, maybe even the weather's fault. If a dog barked too loud in Wisconsin, she'd probably find a way to spin it into a scandal. Gutfeld and Tyrus tear apart her blame game, exposing it as her true legacy. Every time she fails, she reinvents herself like clockwork. Failed healthcare crusader turned senator, beaten Obama rival turned diplomat, Trump's biggest loser turned feminist icon. It's the same tired act every single time. Take failure, rebrand it as empowerment, and pray the media swallows it again.
President Joe Biden has advanced prostate cancer. I'm sure the announcement had nothing to do with the recently released Her audio and the bombshell book about his cognitive decline. Just like I think how Yoko Ono had nothing to do with the Beatles breaking up. Yeah, and that rash I got had nothing to do with my weekend at the Mustang Ranch. After hearing the news of Biden's cancer, Hillary Clinton posted, quote, wishing you a speedy recovery. And let me know if there's...
But people remember, her fingerprints are all over disasters like Libya, where her chilling laughter about Gaddafi now echoes through the ruins of a failed state. She led the infamous Russian reset, which aged about as well as spoiled milk once Putin showed his true colors. Gutfeld and Tyrus don't paint her as seasoned or wise. They paint her as reckless, a politician blinded by her own ambition. What's worse, she's obsessed with rewriting how history will see her, like someone editing her own Wikipedia page for eternity. But history doesn't bend that easily. Instead of becoming the first female president, she became the first to prove that gender alone isn't enough. Instead of being a feminist icon, she's become the flashing warning label on the dangers of political entitlement.
White House says no classified information was involved. There's still no word if they'll return to Joe Biden's preferred form of communication. Hillary Clinton weighed in on the Signal story, saying, you gotta be kidding me.
Greg Gutfeld especially revels in the irony. Hillary Clinton was supposed to shatter the glass ceiling, but she tripped over the step stool before she even got close to it. She didn't ignite a movement. She ignited backlash every single time she demanded loyalty instead of earning it. Voters ran, not walked, the moment she acted like their support was owed to her. Tyrus drives the point home. Hillary isn't a leader, she's a tired brand clinging to old glory. Her books, her speeches, her endless cameos all push the same worn-out narrative, the myth of Hillary as history's unfinished business. But when you crack open that glossy package, all you find inside is another recycled memoir trying to sell yesterday's relevance as today's news.
Austin, the only member of The View not vaccinated for canine distemper, kicked things off by asking Hillary what will happen if Trump is reelected, which is odd because Hillary's an expert on not getting elected. I wonder, does she think it would end our country as we know it?
I think it would be the end of our country as we know it. And I don't say that lightly. You know, I hated losing. And I especially hated losing to him because I had seen so many warning signals.
By the time Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus are finished, the picture couldn't be clearer. Hillary Clinton won't go down in history as the president who almost made it. She'll be remembered as the politician who had every single advantage, every connection, every chance, and still managed to lose the unlosable. Her legacy isn't greatness, it's arrogance colliding headfirst with reality. She's like a magician desperately pulling the same dusty rabbit out of the same tattered hat, pretending it's still magic while the audience yawns. Except now the rabbit looks half alive and the crowd's already heading for the exits. The punchline, Gutfeld and Tyrus don't even need to exaggerate. Her record delivers the joke all by itself.
Arc Air is designed specifically to prioritize dogs. The problem is they all want to fly with their heads out the window. Adorable, but dead. In Washington, D.C., the giant grocery chain has announced a ban on large bags. Great, now where will I shop? Complains one large bag.
She dreamed of history books crowning her a trailblazer, but instead they branded her as the establishment's biggest self-inflicted wound. Hillary Clinton had it all: the name, the money, the adoring media, and an entire political machine built to clear her path. Yet somehow, she still lost to Donald Trump, the man those same outlets swore could never win. That's not bad luck. That's pure political incompetence wrapped in denial. History won't remember her as the first female president, but as the ultimate cautionary tale of entitlement and hypocrisy, preaching about democracy while cashing checks from the very people who undermine it. As Tyrus points out, she reinvented herself over and over. Champion of women, of the middle class, of global unity. But the masks kept slipping faster each time. Voters didn't trust her then, and they sure don't trust her now.
Warning signals that you were gonna lose? Well, too bad you didn't bother to visit the states you ended up losing, you potato-shaped wine bag. But would he even be worse now?
I think that he'd be even worse now.
Yeah.
Because he was somewhat restrained, believe it or not,
Wow.
in the first term by people who he hired because he thought they would go along with him.
At the end of the day, Hillary Clinton didn't lose because America wasn't ready for a woman president. She lost because America was done being lectured by someone who thought she was untouchable. Greg Gutfeld nails it perfectly. Her story isn't one of empowerment, it's a monument to entitlement. She wanted the presidency handed to her like every other privilege she's enjoyed in her long career. But here's the kicker. She still doesn't understand why she failed. To her, it's always someone else's fault. The press, the Russians, the voters, maybe even fate itself. But the excuse machine has finally broken down, and the more she talks, the clearer it becomes. She's not the victim of circumstance. She's the architect of her own collapse.
Imagine an inner circle in hell where you are doomed to defend the biggest screw-up of your life. That's where you'll find Hillary.
I won the places that represent 2/3 of America's gross domestic product. So I won the places that are optimistic, diverse, dynamic, moving forward, and his whole campaign, Make America Great Again, was looking.
And that's what makes Gutfeld and Tyrus's takedown so wildly satisfying. It's not cruelty, it's pure honesty wrapped in humor. Hillary Clinton built a towering monument to her own inevitability, and when it all came crashing down, she tried to sell the rubble as progress. But the world's not buying that story anymore. Her journey isn't about breaking barriers. It's a lesson in how far someone can fall when arrogance replaces authenticity. She didn't just lose an election, she lost her legacy, trading history's spotlight for the cold shadow of regret. Instead of the first female president, she's become the cautionary tale of entitlement and elitism. Every polished speech, every fake comeback, every desperate excuse just makes the sting sharper. And the brutal punchline: the louder she insists she's still relevant, the louder the world laughs at the sad, glaring contradiction.